we have Spencer Jones, Maxime, Raynaud, and Coach Haase. Coach, if you want to go ahead and give an opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions after that.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride with this team, and this game was certainly in a position where things weren't going extremely well. They were really shooting the heck out of it from the three-point line. To say we had our backs against the wall would be an understatement. And the feeling I have right now, probably more than anything else, is pride. Obviously winning the game, but more because of the approach of how the guys were steady in the huddles. We made some adjustments. They made the adjustments on the court, and were able to make a heck of a run that second half. Guys stepped up and made plays. At some point, the X's and O's, aren't going to be enough. And there has to be players like these guys right here that are out there competing and making the plays, and they did that tonight.
All right, we'll open up to questions. We'll start here in the third row on the left.
Hi, Ron Karchuk from the San Francisco Chronicle. You said adjustments. What changed from 63-45 the rest of the way? What it strategically and also just sort of on the court?
I think the biggest thing was we increased our defensive pressure, pressured the basketball a little bit, got into them a little bit more aggressive, more physical, and we did that strategically. Now, having said that, I was hoping throughout the rest of the game that, earlier in the game, even from an XO standpoint, it may not have been tactically what we're doing. We could still do it with what we were doing, and I thought we were deficient in that area. But I think we did become more aggressive on the defensive end. We were able to get into the three-point shooters a little bit more. We felt like they were hunting threes or hunting a lot of mid-range shots, and so we didn't have to get in as many rotation situations. Attempted to make them shoot from the outside, which for the most part they did. We challenged it. And then maybe the stat that was really telling in the second half, I don't know the exact number, I think we out-rebounded by 14. And that was something that was certainly a big part.
Second row on the right.
Spencer, there was a sequence late in the game where on consecutive possessions you blocked Jalen Tyson. Can you talk about taking on that matchup late in the game?
Yeah, no, he's tough for sure. I mean, he's got a bunch of moves. The one thing Coach would tell me, he just loves to go right. So I was trying to send him left. I mean, but the guy that good, he's going to find a way to get to a spot. So it's just about squaring up and staying vertical. And I got a little bit of wingspan, so that helps. But no, I knew it was going to be a tough defensive assignment. I was gassed there for a little bit, but the guys were able to pick it up while I was gassed until I was able to finish it off. So it was good.
Third row on the right.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com for the players. Just talk about that sequence where Michael Jones hit the three and then the steal. Just what did you guys see on that kind of crazy sequence there?
I think for a lot of people it feels like a movie. Like, oh, we need a three, we steal the ball, we make a shot. But I think what Coach always talk about is belief, and I think we believe in our players, we believe in our system. We believe that even down was the very last position to Cal, we could still get a steal and get that three up. So I think it was just about not giving in, and obviously when he gets in, it becomes a fairy tale. But it was great to see it go in.
Front row on the right.
Hey, Coach. Jose Romero, Arizona Republic. What comes to mind for you as you played in this conference, you're coaching in this conference, still are, and what sort of comes to mind for you as you get ready to depart this conference?
It's a little bit surreal to think that the Pac-12 is coming to an end. Sad is probably the best description. Times are changing so fast in college athletics. And as we know, the realignment with all the schools, the advent of NIL, the number of transfers, and I think the next few years it'll continue to change. And so to answer your question, it's sad and disappointing, but the reality is it's part of the carnage that's going on all across the landscape right now. And at the end of the day, everybody's going to need to move forward and reinvent themselves a little bit. But right now, as this tournament winds down over the next few days, I would say my single word to describe it is simply sad.
On the left here, third row.
For both players, beyond the strategic adjustments Coach talked about, what were the emotions? What was the mood like when you're down 18? Obviously, if you lose, the season's over. Lots of questions about the future. What was that feeling like, and how did you change that the rest of that?
Yeah, no, we were definitely down. I mean, you know, they just felt like they hit like 10 threes in a row. We're down 18, everything against us. But you know, we talked in halftime that, you know, if you want to make, you know, insurmountable feats, you're going to have to go through what seems like insurmountable valleys, and that was one of them. And I mean, we knew we had to stick together, and we knew that the only way through it was to come together. And so, you know, I put it on myself to maybe come out and try to get a defensive stop, and I did. And that allowed the next person to get a defensive stop, which allowed the next person to get a defensive stop, and we just kind of did it together throughout that entire half.
On the right, second row.
One of the big adjustments in the second half is Benny Gieler getting extended run. He was plus 26 on this game. Can you guys talk about what he gave you?
Yeah, no, clearly he brought a spark of energy. He clearly like led us all the way, like plus 26 as you said. I think he was really good for us, being steady. Even when we're down like this, like oftentimes we can just like again like give in and like start being stressed, taking quick shots, quick threes, and I think he did a great job just getting the calls, getting stops, running our offense, and obviously we did well with him. So we're really proud of him for that.
A question for both Jerod and Maxime. Maxime, just talk about your matchup with IMAC. You had the better night of the two. Just talk about what was the key to you kind of winning that matchup, and then for Coach, just how big of a matchup was that going in that you guys were able to maybe win the big man battle tonight?
I mean, obviously he's like top 5, top 10 rebounder in the country right now. So we talk a lot about boxing out. He averaged like 3.5 offensive rebound a game. He only got 1 today, so I think that's a win for us. And then pretty early on, he got into foul trouble because we attacked the paint a lot. So obviously that like helped us because it got him out of the game. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, one of our keys to the game, we always give the guys, you know, 2 or 3 keys to the game, and we want them to be able to really be good 10 feet and in on both ends of the floor. You know, get the ball inside and try and attack the paint, and then defensively, while they have a variety of ways they can score inside, going through him is certainly a key for them. And so both James and Maxime were really good and physical, and you know, he's a heck of a player, but we kept him in check to a certain extent.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.